And my schedule sure has been crazy. I'm really excited to get back to video making, and I really hope that no one has noticed how long I've been gone. That would be super embarrassing. Let me see what I can find to make a video on today. Alright, just some normal looking stuff over on the Jump Chain subreddit. Hmm, maybe I should do something about jump chain writing, and maybe I could just make a video about that. Huh, someone's calling me. That's weird. Hey man, how's it going? It's been a while since I've heard from you. Oh, you've been working on something yourself? That's really exciting. Mind if I give it a look? Dope. Send me an email and I'll go ahead and take a look at that. Can I go ahead and tell you something? I'm actually working on a video right now. You want to team up? Tight. Hey friends, I'm super stoked to see you again. I know it's been a minute. I've been working, I've been doing a bunch of other things, but today I'm extremely excited to have a very special jump to share with you all. In honor of the reason for the season, we are going to be taking a look at Deveros Sphere's newest jump, the Out of Context Frieza Day special. This is not going to be quite as long as some of my other videos. In fact, I tend to hesitate about making videos about longer jump documents, ones that are 20 pages and up because of their length. But I really liked this. It's a quirky jump. I definitely recommend giving it a read. As usual, the link will be in the video description. But I'm so excited to team up with my friend Deveros, and we are going to be taking a look at the Out of Context Frieza Day special together. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. Before we go any further, I do want to take a beat to mention some very quick things. This is an out of context supplements, which means that you can use it in conjunction with pretty much any jump. You can use it either as its own jump completely by itself, or you can supplement it with another jump, which means that you would be getting all of the effects, perks, items, all of that stuff of two jumps at the same time. Or you could use it by itself. You could select a setting, maybe one that doesn't have a jump document, and you could go over there as a celebrator of Frieza Day. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that right out the gates. I know that it's been a minute since I've made a video, so I apologize if I'm a little rusty, but I'm super stoked that we're here together and that we're going to take a second to go ahead and take a look at this particular jump doc. I did help a little bit with this, just so you know, but this is in fact a surprisingly real jump, I promise, despite the way that it looks, as you'll be able to see in some of the perks. There is real stuff here. There are three different origins. There is Armored, Metal, and Gold, which refer to the different stages of Lord Frieza's glorious existence. If you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, this is in fact a Dragon Ball Z jump, kinda sorta. In so much as an out of context supplement can be a jump, I personally like to think of them as just jumps, but I know that there's people who really like to focus on them as supplements. I did help pick some of these images as mentioned earlier. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the general perks. I am not here to try and tell you everything about this jump. I want to encourage you to check it out yourself, but I do want us to go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff together. There are a number of free perks here. Some of these perks are mutually exclusive, so if you get one, you can't get another one, that kind of thing. The first perk, as is always the case with these kinds of jumps, is a freebie. In this case, it's called Deck the Forms, and allows you to grow clothing on yourself as durable as your nails or hair. The clothes can be replaced or removed with newly grown clothing, but removing them will be itchy, so you'll have to scratch around a little bit, but that's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these perks. Again, this feels like a fun joke jump. It kind of is, but there's definitely actual stuff you can take away from this. You'll be able to see that a little bit more once we get further into the jump dock, but you can already kind of see some stuff that's real, such as Frieza Wonderland, which gives you a natural level of ki control, giving you the ability to fire simple energy blasts, transfer ki to others, and fly through the manipulation of ki, as well as a rudimentary sense that allows you to feel out nearby powerful people. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the next perks. If you have the right booster for this, you are going to be able to fire a death beam, which is a piercing ki technique that can be used on single targets or to create a huge city-sized explosion if you aim it at the ground or at an appropriate target. You can produce a death ball and supernova, which are planet-busting techniques. As a reminder, Dragon Ball Z is a very silly setting. Some of these stuff that is thrown around here, terms like planet busting, don't really feel like they belong if you don't have any real awareness of the series. But planet busting is extremely common in Dragon Ball Z and on. It's not extraordinarily common, but it's pretty regular. Most villains are capable of doing some, at least a moon busting thing, and once you get to Dragon Ball Super, it gets even sillier. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the next stuff. Uh, with the right booster over here, you become able to regenerate some more of your stuff. I haven't made a video in a while just because of work and things and real life taking up more of my time. Plus, I had a minor series of health episodes fairly recently, so don't want to focus on this section, which has some of the less real perks. But on the armored perk tree, you're already able to start to see some more of the fun stuff that jumpers would be really excited about. The free perk for people who choose the armored origin lets you know how to train others more effectively. From there, you can teach them how to have their own sort of transformation. This also allows you to gain psychic abilities, preliminarily psychokinesis with the same level of physical strength as your own body. If you are even remotely familiar with Dragon Ball Z, you will have an idea of how silly that can very easily become. I know that sort of perk would excite me as a Dragon Ball Z fan who isn't like obsessed with the series but has more than just sort of osmosis knowledge of it. That sort of ability is a lot of fun. With Hyphal Hard, you can gain an awareness of an almost magnetic pull towards any action-oriented events, and you can insert yourself in it in a way that makes sense for you as a person. If you have the right perks, this becomes Hyphal Hard with a Vengeance. Once per jump or once every 10 years, whichever is soonest, you gain a 1-up that will prevent your death and protect you with plot armor, which will force you to escape, but it remains active until you've reached a location wherein you are safe. The capstone perk is called Frieza All the Way, which makes it so that your true form is able to ascend further into an armored form, which increases its power substantially. This transformation is an inversion of normal transformations, and beyond that, when you take on this form, you become noticeably taller, and you are far more muscular. Your biosuit gains shoulder bows, a helmet or crown-like armor around your head, back spikes, and a face mask that hides your facial features. Your minimum power level in this form would be over 160,000. Very impressive. So, like all out of context supplements, this jump contains perks that are ascended versions of the initial capstone perks. In this case, there are two. There is the 6th Frieza Day, which you get if you have the previous perk plus the Frieza Day all over again booster, and the last Frieza Hero, which you get if you have the capstone perk as well as the Frieza Express. With the 6th Frieza Day, this transforms your armored form into a Titan form that dramatically increases your power in terms of your raw physique. This makes you even larger and also gives you a second set of arms that you can use in combats. This also gives you additional combat features, which can be used very handily. I'm assuming you have the same level of control with them that you have with your primary limbs and all of that kind of stuff. And then the last Frieza hero is a perk that takes all of the other stuff that you already had and focuses on your mental abilities. This gives you a reinforced transformation that you can stack onto any other form, and when you activate this transformation, your appearance changes, with your exoskeleton becoming darker, your gem plates taking on a black tone, and numerous horns appearing on your head and shoulders. When transforming into this form, your power level raises to 500% of your previous form, and you are able to create a mental connection with your opponent or opponents in order to read their surface thoughts, put them into a sort of mental illusion without them knowing, and your psychokinetic powers become even stronger. If this is used on top of your 100% form, your minimum power level in this form would be 11,000, and if this is used with your armored form, it would go up to 818,000, and then if used with your Titan form, it becomes over 4 million. So this is a real powerhouse of a form. From here, let's go on a bit and talk about the metal perk tree. If you choose to be a metal Frieza, you are going to be able to become a brilliant scientist and an amazing teacher for free with the Frieza Day candle perk. This makes it so that when you're explaining academic knowledge to others, they'll be able to better understand and retain the information, allowing them to more effectively utilize it. This also has its own little booster from one of the perks that we saw earlier, called Burning Cold at both ends. This allows you to infect others with your nanites, which will have the nanites processed to restore the target's health and well-being. During the period of time the nanites are active, they will replace any damaged or missing body parts with technological equivalents that their body won't reject. These technological body parts can be replaced over time by the target's natural regen capabilities as they replace the added tissue with their own natural equivalents, which makes it a sort of bioorganic, a sort of techno-organic prosthetic that people could use, my brain, and is just generally more effective than having either someone's natural regeneration, which may not be as capable of regrowing limbs as other life forms can be, or a normal prosthetic. Journey to Namek is the next perk in this origin, and it allows you to know when there is an event of interest that is about to become directly or indirectly related to you by letting you see a sign of some kind and catch your interest. When one of these events take place, you'll always recognize the sign, but not necessarily what the goal is you're looking for. So when you spot the sign in the night sky, if you decide to have it be a star like the perk mentions, then you are going to be able to follow that because you'll know that that is related to something of importance to you, even though you won't fully understand everything until you actually get there. From here, we have the semi-capstone, the penultimate capstone perk. Not penultimate capstone, but penultimate perk in this origin, the Frieza Day Eve Vigil. This allows you to grant yourself and others a short-term power-up, which multiplies power levels by burning through someone's energy. The power-up multiplies the user's strength, durability, speed, and ki, but at the cost of making their bodies rapidly age. While it's active, their aura will take on a lilac and white color, but the higher the multiplier used, the faster the target will age. From here, there is a booster if you have the Almost Frieza Day perk called Frieza Day Grace. This allows you to give yourself and others an altered variant of this power-up, which painlessly burns through the user's body in exchange for power. While this power-up is active, the user will be able to select what aspects of themselves they wish to empower and where to focus the burn on their body parts, allowing them to pick and choose what gets stronger and what gets burned through as they gain the power boost. The higher the power multiplier and the wider the scope of the power-up, the faster it burns. For this to really be useful on yourself or others, you do need some sort of powerful regeneration perk, but it's definitely doable. This is a very nice perk. The capstone for this origin is called the Heart of Frieza. This allows you to have a biosuit with a nanite-based technology integrated into it that boosts the power level of each of your forms by 20%. These nanites also enhance your physical durability and energy reserves by 150%. Your cells will produce these nanites naturally, and should you lose a proportional amount of your biomass, the nanites will create a cybernetic equivalent and help your body regrow the body mass with cybernetics acting as a framework. These nanites can be used to shield you from most forms of ki and life force sensors, which can be really handy if you want to be stealthy. This, again, as a capstone, has two specific perks that make it stronger. It has the Frieza Day All Over Again perk, which transforms it into the Frieza Day Star, and it has the Journey to Namek booster, which makes it planetless for the holidays. So it's worth noting, I'm saying these things as though they completely supplement I'm saying this as though they completely replace the perk. They don't. You get all of the benefits of all of the stuff, but in order for it to happen, you do have to have the prerequisite perks. So with the Frieza Day Star, your nanites are now far more advanced, allowing you to integrate, optimize, and even replicate technology. When gaining this upgrade, the power level of each of your forms is increased by an additional 30%, and your physical durability increases by an extra 80%. Whenever you come into physical contact with technology, you can spread your nanites in order to have them take direct control of the device or break it down for absorption. Any technology or parts that your nanites integrate with are copied as blueprints that your nanites can reform as, replicating the device, as well as giving you intimate knowledge of the technology. When taking control of the technology, your nanites can utilize any blueprints they possess in order to upgrade the device, making it more advanced or causing new features to form. This is a very handy perk for scientist jumpers, especially for scientist jumpers who don't have much in terms of physical strength, which can be a problem for some hyper-specialized jumpers, so just keep that in mind. The Journey to Namek booster makes this planetless for the holidays, and it seems that you've found your own star. That is, your own big jetty star. From this, each of your forms are boosted by 100%, with the L nanites also enhancing your durability and energy reserves by 400%. Your nanites can also spread out separately from your body as drones that will automatically seek out anything of interest to you and keep you up to date on its progress. Any of your nanites, including your drones, can be programmed to create full mechanical copies of yourself, facilities, and transportation systems for you to take interest in. You can instinctively control any of your nanites in a number of ways, including commanding sections of nanites, remotely taking full control of specific nanites, or through giving orders that the selected nanites will follow. The nanites within your body will also gain an upgrade for their regenerative capabilities, allowing them to regrow your biomass within seconds of the technological equivalent forming. Another really handy perk for scientist jumpers, especially ones that want to be able to have some more fun in jumps and take bigger risks, because with this you can create things like homes, you can create vehicles, you can even create fully mechanical copies of yourself akin to Doombots if that's something that you are really interested in. There's a lot of just incredibly fun stuff you could do with this, as is often the case with scientist jumpers, so I'm not surprised that this origin is definitely cracked. In order to help encourage people to go check out the jump document itself, I am going to go ahead and skip past the gold origin, and we're going to talk about some of the other stuff found in the jump doc, so that way people will have a reason to go and check out what I'm trying to advertise here and what I'm trying to draw eyes to. So this is the item section. It's a little bit different from how other jumps have done items due to the nature of this jump. So I am very excited to take a look at it and talk about some of my favorite gifts. But before then, I have a feeling that I should probably explain some stuff. So you get one free gift in this called the free gift item. And once you get it, you need to roll a d20, and then you will gain the corresponding present for free wrapped in a gift box. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and use an online d20 roller right now just so that I can see what gift I would be getting for free. So just give me 2 seconds. I got a 6. Let's go ahead and see what it is. There's also actually regular free items. We'll come back in a beat and we'll talk about them. But since I got a 6, let's go and take a look at what I would actually be getting. Come on, something good. All right, I got a Spacey's gift card. This is a gift card that can be used at any restaurant or establishment that sells food. The card tops up with enough currency to buy any meal on the menu whenever you attempt to use it, allowing you to eat for free anywhere. That is an extremely interesting item. I actually really like that. It's a very small quality of life thing, but it's definitely not nothing. And those sorts of small quality of life gifts are super exciting. We'll take a look at two of the more fancy ones in a beats, but let's go back and look at some of the other freebies before we move any further. So there is Frieza Force Armor, which is a battle armor that's standard issue combat attire, and it's mandatory throughout the Frieza Force. It's very durable, but also flexible and stretchy, easily conforming to the movements and size-changing transformations of its wearer without losing its original shape, which is very neat. And there's also a Frieza Force Scouter. A Scouter is a wearable all-purpose computer that Frieza's army uses to measure power levels. A trained person is capable of consciously lowering their ki to full scouters and to show a lower power level, but when reading a higher power level than its maximum, these objects explode, which is interesting, and I have a feeling that could be used in a number of really clever ways by smart jumpers. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other items. In fact, I'll go ahead and do another roll on a d20 that I have on my other monitor, and we'll see what we get. We got a 10. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. Ooh, Frieza's hover pod. This is a nice one. It's a floating egg-shaped vehicle used by Frieza and is a means of transportation. It's a comfortable means of getting around, not only due to its soft internal furnishings, but also because of its internal atmosphere controls that allow it to make the inside of the pod the exact temperature and chemical composition that is the most comfortable for you, regardless of your species. Some of the other items here include senzu beans. When one of these beans is eaten, it will fully heal the consumer's wounds, restoring any stamina or energy they may have lost, and will make them feel full without them needing to eat or drink for a week. And there is also a death bomb, which is a highly efficient explosive that can be used on any building to make it perfectly explode so that the rubble lands in a perfectly tidy pile, and the land the building was on is perfectly flat. If used in a gauntlet, this item will function as though fiat back to your body mod, but you'll only have access to one before the jump or gauntlet ends, which is very rare. These kinds of meta things are a little interesting to me. I tend not to make them, but I am always amused when I see them pop up in someone else's jump. I definitely think this could be a very unpleasant surprise to someone if you have it in a gauntlet, especially if they are aware of the nature of jump chains. It could be something that catches them a little off guard, and if something like this catches them off guard, then it's game over. There are other items. I'm going to go ahead and just sneak a glance through here. If anyone wants to pause the video, they can at any point so they could read these descriptions, but I'm very excited to have things for you all to go and discover in this jump yourself. I am stoked that I made the decision to not quite show you everything, just so that way you could go and show Deveros some love. I am super amped for you guys to see this jump yourself, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, so that way there is plenty of stuff for people to chat about in the comments. I don't know when I'm going to be fully back to making videos. I am currently working full-time, and that is something that wildly affects my ability to make videos, especially at the rate that I like to make them. It's something that I've done in the past, but it's certainly challenging, and I prefer to focus my things properly so that way I have time to enjoy my hobbies and also work at the level that I feel comfortable working at, especially given my health. But I can't wait to see you all again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all go and support my friend Deveros. Bye-bye, everyone!